My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Notice: intellectual property theft is particularly egregious and equally unlawful where the sole inventor and creator of the intellectual property is the targeted individual. Erica Lorraine Spencer, subject to the unconstitutional and inhumane government system of gang stalking, otherwise referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices, because of which the intellectual property created by the targeted individual, who is, in fact, Erica Lorraine Spencer, as the intellectual property also proves, serves to establish via evidence and expose the existence of criminal surveillance and thus an inherent threat posed by the U.S. government and the civilian population sharing engagement in the unlawful system. Such evidence that includes all of the content created by Erica Lorraine Spencer, images, videos, audio, etc., belongs solely and entirely to Erica Lorraine Spencer only and is necessarily published online in order to protect her life, safety, and liberty as the targeted individual, who is also the intellectual property owner, no less protected from theft procured through targeting by a public entity, theft of any intellectual property belonging to Erica Lorraine Spencer, which is necessarily committed while she, being both creator and inventor, remains oppressed by the public entity via criminal surveillance, is a criminal and inhumane means of infringement under all circumstances and not protected nor enforceable pursuant to any invalid or fraudulent acts of copyright, trademarks, patents, etc., including as it pertains to any ideas associated with or generated from the intellectual property or the intellectual property owner, Erica Lorraine Spencer, whether creative, business, or otherwise, nor does the intellectual property owner consent to any such means of infringement and theft. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. This is P.O.C. Stalking, doing a cartwheel. This is the parking lot of the Ontario Civic Center, the Ontario City Hall, the Ontario Senior Center. A cartwheel, a U-turn. Just flying the plane at low elevation for fun, for no legitimate purpose at 2:40 a.m. And that cartwheel is in alignment with my person right here. in the engineered environment. That's the same military that is stalking me in Upland, California in helicopter, that has not gained any sense of sanity and has not ceased to engage in what is sharing in criminal activity with these corporate entities that are being federally prosecuted, that are acting in concert with the military. This is the P.O.C. It is 2:40 a.m. where the entity is stalking. That's what you're taking away from this. The government that is stalking at 2:40 in the morning is the government that is an entity filled with mentally ill stalkers. Okay? And that is a categorical assessment that is precise. This is P.O.C. This is P.O.C. That's Wells Fargo. And you just saw Southwest Airlines hovering over the edge of downtown Ontario luxury apartments. This is Stalking by Omnitrans. And you know what's happening aboard Omnitrans. The fake sun's remaining over me. The entity is stalking. The entity is stalking so low, it's through the window of the bus where you're looking at now. The plane elevation is higher than the building that's flying over that I'm standing next to, and you can see the engineer light that is touching the top of the building. This is downtown Ontario luxury apartments. And this is P.O.C. stalking on the roads and the highways. Larry 347 Frank 1 is engaging in light activity and criminal presence in the path, and this right here is a federal prosecution. They represent the entity. And as you see, when I'm at Southwest Airlines is flying over the parking lot at that location, and just as I show you when I'm on the opposite side of this apartment, downtown Ontario luxury apartments, where the fake sun documentation is showing rising and setting. The entity is engaging what is flying over the parking garage on the opposite side of the same apartment, while I am walking from the library in the same direction north, and Southwest Airlines, which is the airline industry. You'll see all of my pictures while the entity is maintaining plane after plane after plane after plane, and where the entity is flying those planes, the entity is physically stalking me, following me with the use of planes, and not just following me, this is my every move in every direction that I'm going, while the entity demons the military with planes, commercial airline planes with 0 passengers headed to no destination, which doesn't change. Even if the military had the people that stayed aboard those planes, it's an equal prosecution. The fact that the entity is clearly engaging in what is flipping and diving and U-turning and hovering throughout the city where there are no passengers aboard and you're not headed to a destination, it's merely a prosecution of that airport and of the people that stayed, who are equally stalking while they're on the roads and the highways and inside of the buildings where they are engaging in that pattern of conduct together. It's just showing the pure purpose of the plane use anyway, in the first instance, which is to stalk someone, which is mentally ill behavior. It's a threat to national security. All right, this is P.O.C. and it's a prosecution of downtown Ontario luxury apartments. Saris Regis Group, the vicarious actor, and you will be prosecuted as an establishment while the government is gang stalking in this manner. This is P.O.C. You will not be holding on to any profits while the government is gang stalking in this manner. And this is still the prosecution of Saris Regis Group. This is referred to as relevant positioning, and it is still clear identification of targeting an American citizen, where I am in front of downtown Ontario luxury apartments, which, by the way, no government or third party has any right under the law to engage in what the companies in the United States Postal Service and customers engage in. Stalking in the path, unloading and loading, parking, traffic lights. It's all criminal presence, in the same way that the government is relying upon that while they are stalking in the sky space, and it's an equal prosecution of establishments such as the downtown Ontario luxury apartments. This is P.O.C. It's 6:17 a.m. These third parties are monitoring, as is every resident inside of this apartment complex. This is P.O.C. License plate 9 Yolanda 0 Mary 182, and that is criminal presence in the path, and that is a prosecution. All right, this is how an entity is engaged in surveillance. They don't have any rights under the law, and it is outside of any privilege to operate a vehicle on the roads and the highways to engage in gang stalking, and that's exactly what is accomplished here. This is the entity that is being federally prosecuted, and it's a prosecution of the corporate entity. This includes Saris Regis Group. This is P.O.C. It's 6:17 a.m. Alrighty, and this is Exhibit A. First of all, there are no takeoffs here. This is speaking to an elaborate system regarding stalking by planes and then maintaining hovering planes in the direction west. The Ontario International Airport is not east of this ARCO. As you see, come closer, fake sun's in alignment, Southwest Airlines, which would be coming from the same terminal, is flying and hovering over a different location based on where I'm at, which you can also see where Southwest Airlines is engaging in stalking at the same location at 6 in the evening when the sun would not be at the same address. This is already on the record. In the middle of the afternoon, during the 12 p.m. hour, where the people of the state are crossing path. That's what this is. And pay attention to the communication device. This is group stalking, and you will be prosecuted as establishments that are engaging in this. It's not based on residency at Downtown Ontario Luxury Apartments. It's not based on employment at ARCO, which this is a gang stalking employee. It's not based on being a consumer, a gas stall. It's based on all means of presence in all the aforementioned methods that you're looking at right now in the environment, which is also why it's not going to be based on, well, they're not a resident, so downstairs Regis can't be prosecuted. That's incorrect. You will be prosecuted. They are making money. They are engaging in presence. They're doing so as a government system while the entity is engaging in what is terrorism, stalking an American citizen by virtue of this presence, which, by the way, they're not engaging in ignorantly. That's why ARCO's under the fake sun at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, at 6 and 7 o'clock in the evening, where ARCO will be federally prosecuted. They are in fact already prosecuted. This is the P.O.C. You're looking at the ongoing migration of the plane activity, and you're looking at the maintenance of the environment, where third parties such as Chevron and ARCO are under the fake sun, and the vendors and the customers, who are all the people of the state. Those are all iterations of the same entity, the people of the state, and so is Southwest Airlines. Okay, the military are using these planes while the people of the state are engaged in psychopathic pacing. It's my shadow over here. License 9, Thomas Mary Sam 394. Not only does the fake sun remain over me, the fake sun remains over me on the same street in the morning and in the evening. And this is the criminal prosecution for which you don't have a constitutional defense as a corporate entity. And your being placed where you're headquartered is not a defense. By virtue of the placement of ARCO, which is the people of the state, you shall be federally prosecuted for what is engagement in the criminal elements of monitoring. And by the way, I've also documented the people of the state, including while they're employees and they are sharing in the criminal pattern of conduct, which is exactly what he is doing right now. Claiming that you're cleaning, you're engaging in what is your job is merely an admission to criminal presence in the path, which is all that the government needs. And it is criminal presence while you have an establishment and you're operating a business. That business is hereby illegitimate because it's facilitating criminal activity, which is threatening the life of an American citizen, for which you have no defense. You will be prosecuted for the malicious pattern of conduct. It's currently 6:23 a.m. P.O.C. All right, pay attention here. This is not a takeoff, and this is concerted conduct, a demon that's engaging in criminal monitoring, and then it's going to walk into the Catholic Church. And you have where Southwest is acting as though they're rising in elevation over the housing. You have the same conduct mimicked. This is United Airlines. And this is gang stalking at a fake church. United Airlines, P.O.C. These are the people of the state gang stalking together. This is pacing, this is demonic at a fake church. Not only is this criminal as the pattern of conduct, you're literally looking at demons and their purpose, which is to engage in that pattern of conduct in the parking lot. Here's my shadow reaching across. There's the fake sun that's always finding itself in alignment to me. 7 Nancy Victor Paul 169. They are in their homes, which are under the law based on the environment that is supernatural. This is not the natural environment. You are not protected under the law. You are not capable of engaging in surveillance with the government, as I'm documenting. The military, United Airlines, St. George, under the 6:31 a.m. fake sun, where the entity is maintaining this pattern of conduct, and the entity is engaging in what is the same pattern of conduct hours later, where the fake sun is over me at this same St. George Catholic Church. The St. George Catholic Church, by the way, represents the corporate entity. The fake church is a business where the criminal surveillance system is underway, and that's why I'm being gang stalked at what is a church, where the people of the state refer to the name of Christ, which is nothing other than audible activity. It's the P.O.C. There are no plane takeoffs over the United Unicare Health Center. No planes hovering from an airport headed to a destination with passengers aboard. It's only happening now because they are engaging in gang stalking. The plane activity that you can hear, I want you to see this. This is psychopathic pacing. This is P.O.C. and this is very demonic. And this is happening where Satan's church is located. This is Satan's church. This is where the Ontario Police American Medical Response, that video that I will attach, are engaged in criminal summoning. That's what I documented here while the entity is gang stalking. This is P.O.C. That is UPS. Coming from a terminal, not coming from a terminal. This is not private property by virtue of the environment and the government's criminal pattern of conduct, which the people of the state share in. It's not the sun. And engineer light's all over the fake church, and as my evidence shows, engineer light is on the inside of this building where criminal surveillance is underway, and criminal surveillance directly rebuts the legal status of private property. That's called malice. All right, you are going to be federally prosecuted as the corporate entity gang stalking at fake churches like St. George. It's 6:33 a.m. This is P.O.C. This is gang stalking. And the evidence of that is the environment. I just want you to be clear. This is shade. You don't see the sun. And this is supposed to be sunlight. When you are surveying, this is an investigation showing the malice, the silence within which criminal monitoring is underway. Right, Exhibit A. While I'm walking, this is all shade while I'm walking. And here is my shadow. That is somehow, that would be light that's coming from another location, and it's impossible. This is demonic. Those are demons. And demons congregate at what are fake churches, where the Holy Spirit does not reside, where service to Christ is not occurring, where criminal activity of a demonic nature is underway, i.e. the P.O.C. Okay, this is the entity that's engaging in the pattern of conduct. That's engineer light on the ground, and this is a sexual assault and battery by engineer light, where at 500 North Palm Avenue, gang stalking is underway. Okay, and you will not be saved from being federally prosecuted based on, oh, well, nobody, the office was closed and no one was there. Surveillance is underway right now. That's why UPS and United Airlines are hovering and following me around. This is why the people of the state, yeah, they're engaging in the pattern of conduct. And then you have demons that look to the left and right as though nothing is happening. That engineered light, the fake sun, the government stalking in planes and helicopters is all of the admission that you need. Any and everything else is going to be evidence above and beyond prosecuting you, will be used to diagnose you. All right, for the psychopathic disorder that is evident by virtue of the gang stalking that you are engaging in. This is the P.O.C. This is Palm East Street. This is all light activity, the evidence of criminal presence in the path, creating light activity, right? And that is the lack of any necessity to speak to the targeted individual. What the people of the state do, they do above and beyond that. And this is also why the people of the state are being prosecuted as terrorists. This is P.O.C. This is a sex offense. And this is the method of light activity that's underway inside of buildings that are not different because they put the word church on the outside of the venue. It's not different at all. It's malicious. These are the tactics of the devil that has plenty of churches. Okay, they are not the church of Christ Jesus, however, and the children of God do not attend there. They don't serve there. And those that do belong to Christ, he is plucking them out. You're not going to be there ignorantly. And this is literally exposing all the demons that seek to appear as the wheat. They are the tares. And it's prosecution of the tares. And I'm referring to scripture if you know that I'm talking about. It's 6:36 a.m. This is the fake sun here. And this is impossible light activity appearing here. Totally disconnected. All right, and this is the evidence of that fake sun, which I told you has nothing to do with the appearance of light that's all over everything. This is a demonic environment. It is witchcraft. It's supernatural, and you're prosecuting with tangible evidence. This is P.O.C. It is 6:37 a.m. This is P.O.C. I just want to be clear. The Catholic Church is gang stalking and furtherance of murder with the people of the state. That's license plate 8 Charlie Edward Bob 829, and that's federal prison. They are stalking the military and a helicopter. The Cipolla apartment complex, I already documented them engaging in harassment, and the entity stalking me 12 o'clock in the morning at the same apartment complex. This is the fake sun that was over me at the Catholic Church during the 7 a.m. hour. This is psychopathic pacing, the mentally ill that are on the roads and the highways. This is pacing, not traffic. Just like the plane at the plane conduct, 6 Nancy 48333, gang stalking. And so are all of the demon-possessed Catholics. That's what they like to call themselves. That's Satan, who is engaging in the pattern of conduct. These are demon-possessed people, and they are doing so, referring to themselves as Catholics, engaging in Satan's religion, which is Catholicism. All right, and this is the entity that's doing so. You're going to pay attention to the fake sun remaining over me. And literally the demons that are on the stage calling themselves preaching the message today, it's a basis of federal prison. I've been documenting this corporate entity. They're engaging in a documented act of retaliation for which you're going to prison. So you're going from engaging in what is practicing false religion to going to federal prison for gang stalking somebody that's prosecuting you, while I am subject to that pattern of conduct as a congregate at that facilitating venue, which is why the fake sun is moving in alignment to me as I'm approaching St. George Catholic Church, where the military, the government, the city of Ontario, the people of the state have been gang stalking me for years, by the way. It is currently 8:42 a.m. This is P.O.C. This is the evidence of the sex offenders that are those practicing a false religion, referred to as Catholicism. They're sex offenders monitoring my vagina inside of St. George Church, and they're terrorists that are gang stalking me while utilizing the name of Christ as audible activity. Gang stalking, a bunch of demons. Pay attention.
The wheat appeared as well. The slaves of the household came to him and said, Master, do you not sow good seed in your field? Where have the wheat come from? He answered, An enemy hath done this. His slaves said to him, Do you want us to go and pull them up? He replied, No. If you pull up the wheat, you might uproot the wheat along with them. Let them grow together until harvest. Then at the harvest time, I will say to the harvesters, First collect the wheat and tie them in burden or burning, but gather the wheat into my barn. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord.
This is P.O.C.
Perhaps we have been through our life.
It's all impossible light activity. 9 PAY 277 is gang. This is the entire entity, not an individual. They're engaging in the pattern of conduct as an entire population, and that demon's license plate is representative of the government, an entity that's conspiring murder and gang stalking under the on the roads and the highways under the fake sun. The fake sun that's over me as I am exiting this venue at after 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's over my head at the same entrance as I walk down to the same street where a population is stalking. All right, this is a congregant of a demon of the St. George Catholic Church that's gang stalking. This is a hostile demon that's following me to another venue, and the evidence that he is specifically stalking me is the fake sun that's here. The demons that are being documented at the St. George Catholic Church are hostile because of the evidence that I just captured. This is the P.O.C. This is the entity that's engaging in the evidence of the pattern of conduct by the government while impossible light moves across the building. which is totally distinct and separate from the maintenance of the fake sun. This is what I showed you at the St. George Catholic Church when you see the engineer light in the shade and you see the fake sun behind the building. They're monitoring. Monitoring on foot, monitoring in vehicles, monitoring in the sky space, gang stalking on the roads and the highways with the Ontario Fire Department. Michael Gerken's being prosecuted as a terrorist. That's a demon. 169-8080. The Ontario Fire Department is gang stalking with the churches, with every business, with every household that are third parties, with the people of the state. The demon from St. George is pacing with the Ontario Fire Department, both under the fake sun. Okay, this is the P.O.C. This is psychopathic pacing. That's also why Michael Gerken is out of a job, because they're mentally ill. They're engaged in pacing around me while they are keeping the evidence under surveillance. This is the entity that committed kidnapping, by the way. All right, and this is the P.O.C. It is currently 9:40 a.m. The entity is at the same time keeping the fake sun over Upland, California, while I'm at the Upland Public Library outside and waiting for it to open at 10 o'clock. And the entity is engaged in what is stalking with impossible light, the evidence of monitoring, the evidence of mental illness, the evidence of an entity that is targeting, and the entity that engages in criminally defaming your character as they conspire your murder. That's a significant 7 TTX 391. 8 TTH 467, the entity that is stalking by planes and helicopters. The entity that has sacrificed itself and has forfeited any means of success in a federal case within the walls of a tribunal, the P.O.C. Everybody inside of Bethel Congregation, including Pastor Jeanette, who's there right now, gang stalking, I captured her license plate, they're going to prison. Okay? This is the P.O.C. This is what I documented this morning while Southwest Airlines is gang stalking. United Airlines are gang stalking. This is the same Euclid Avenue. That's Chevron. That's ARCO. That's Downtown Ontario Luxury Apartments, and that's Wells Fargo. Coming from the library, the same street. It's hours later. Okay, you're talking about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's 9:41 going on 10, and you're looking at the entity stalking me by engaged turns. There's no passengers on that plane. It's not headed to a destination. They're stalking under the fake sun with the fire department, with the people of the state. Systematic facilitation is underway at Bethel Congregation. And that's mandating federal prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently 9:41 a.m. License 8M85903. License plate. The people of the state are going to be subject to martial law and involuntary commitments. License 9 Victor Robert George 235777 Victor Thomas Apple. That's what that looks like. This is P.O.C. and this is targeting by the people of the state who are going to be prosecuted as a population. P.O.C. Documentation regarding all the means and methods of surveillance, and this is bathroom monitoring inside of a fake church, which is Bethel Congregation, the second floor where gang stalkers of First Christian Church of Ontario are engaged in vagina monitoring, doing so while the entity is maintaining the specific environment by following. That's what you're doing under the fake sun. Following me to the bathroom, leaving the service where they're engaging in gang stalking in a church service, and doing so by making noise outside of this door, which is stalking in the path, in the engineer light, under the fake sun, and in the bathroom where you're engaging in surveillance. This is vagina monitoring. This is indeed the entity that is stalking by coming in, stalking in the path in the engineered environment in order to surround with activity. You're stalking behind me right now. This is impossible light. This is the P.O.C. This is the fake sun that is over me, and as I documented on the sidewalk out there while I'm being accosted with impossible light activity, while a population and entities keeping my vagina under surveillance in the bathroom on the opposite side of this wall, this is where the fake sun is still present, and it is 11:54 a.m. If you recall, the entity is maintaining the pattern of conduct where Brenda is gang stalking right now, Jeanette is gang stalking right now in furtherance of murder. The entity doing so under the fake sun that is over me at the same entrance of this church on video at 9:42 a.m. Again, it's 11:54 a.m. This population is monitoring my vagina at Bethel Congregation under the fake sun. This is at 9:37 a.m. which is the fake sun over me at the same venue right now. This very much is indeed stalking in the path while I'm inside of a private space where the government is violating my privacy in concert with the people of the state. Creatures, not humans, demons that are engaged in vagina monitoring. Stalking in the path. This is P.O.C.
Embrace. We come to the table now, reverent yet joyful, to partake in this amazing meal. We remember the life and death and life again of our Lord Jesus. May these elements bless our hearts and spirits with love and grace to follow in the wondrous path He blazed for us. Help us to be a beacon of light for those living in darkness. We pray together now as your children, the words your Son taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Hi. Oh, no, it's okay. Is there a price difference? Is it the same price?
Huh?
Is it the same price?
Yeah.
Did I pay for lemonade the same price?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Here you are. And I will get my frosty and my sausage. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you what just happened right now. These are people that are playing with their lives. This entity was stalking by helicopter today. This is the suicidal entity that continuously engages in gang stalking tactics, which are going to have them committed and losing everything. So you have a gang stalker that's in here purchasing, stalking en route to the venue, and engaging in what is targeting me, and then having another third party in the venue doing the same thing to them. That's literally what they just did. So the fat Latina is who you see. She's a stalker. Women stalking women is what California engages in. These are demons that are lesbians, obsessing over women that they're stalking, obsessing over their genitalia. And so you have what is the employees, they're all going to prison. So I order a beverage and I get the wrong beverage. And then as I go, the moment that I bring that up to the employee, that's when the third party who is stalking at the register, who is in on my getting a beverage that I did not order. And you didn't forget, this is not a mistake. These are monitoring spirits. So I'm given a lemonade, which I immediately notice is not the beverage that I ordered. And when I address that, you have the third party that is there who is also supposed to This is like supposed to be some sort of buffer. I'm not being targeted because you messed up that person's drink also. That's the rationale behind the tactics of gang stalkers. This is an entity that's not prepared for evidence. So anyway, the entity is engaging in what is giving me the wrong drink. And the moment that I bring that up to get the correct drink, that's when the third party is interfering and saying, is this mine? Is it a diet? And she said that it is, and that she had ordered something else. And so this is just speaking to, this is subconsciously, these are the tactics of demons that are engaging in gang stalking. They are all together, cannot put their brains together to outsmart or maneuver around anyone. But this is what they do, and it's merely my purpose to show this is why these little kids are going to prison. So the entity is engaging in what is, first of all, you're selling food products, you're playing with my food, you're playing with your life, you're going to prison. The entity is intentionally giving me a beverage that I did not order, and this is the entity that has already engaged in what is poisoning me. This is Wendy's, and the entity that's engaged in a documented pattern of poisoning my food that I purchased. The entity is engaging in what is giving me a different drink, and this third party, the fat girl that's at the venue stalking me with Wendy's. She's also concealing a smile, so there's something entertaining. This is also what I'm observing while this entity is engaging in what is intentionally giving me a drink that I did not order. This is a threat, so I'm documenting it, and it's that's why I asked her, in order to document the evidence of getting a different drink, I'm asking her about the price, because I'm documenting that there are no accidents and that you did not forget and you did not accidentally give me the wrong beverage. I'm ordering a watermelon Sprite, and I could tell when I tried the drink that it wasn't carbonated, and that's what brought it to my attention. And the moment that I bring that up, that is when the other third party, who is gang stalking, is speaking to the fact, this isn't the right drink that I have either. So I want to document that, because the entity is engaged in what is poisoning my system, and then sitting back like psychopaths, stalking me by helicopter all day and night, and then just watching the effects of the poison that they put in my body. And they're going to prison. It's ongoing efforts to, in furtherance of the conspiracy to murder, and it's relevant to the mentally ill entity that's engaging in obsessive stalking and poisoning you, stalking you in the bathrooms, monitoring your genitalia, stalking you and monitoring, obsessing over you even while you sleep, just sitting up and watching everything about you, including while they are tampering with food that you consume. And this is all state action. I want to be clear, the employees at Wendy's are going to federal prison, while I am subject to the pattern of conduct at Wendy's. And this is exactly what happened earlier. The entity, as you'll see in the images, I'm documenting the military stalking me by commercial planes. This is evidence against Wendy's at 590 East Hope Boulevard in Ontario, California. The demon that's gang stalking by coming in and purchasing, gang stalking me in line while I'm making a purchase at Wendy's. The demons that are in the drive-thru gang stalking at Wendy's. All of the corrupt business practices of Wendy's is prosecuted, while this entity is today stalking me by helicopter and by commercial planes. But the entity specific, I want to document the entity engages in what is not accidentally but intentionally giving me the wrong drink, and really just doing so and not clear. They don't know whether I'm going to bring it up or not, but I did bring it up, and then I'm given my correct drink. And this is supposed to be the type of games that only demons, creatures find humorous. You're going to prison, and you're not even 25 yet. This little girl's going to prison. But this is what the entity's engaged in. You are gang stalking. You did not accidentally mess up my drink, and who knows what is in that drink that I'm consuming, while it is already a risk to my life that I have to eat and receive my food from the people of the state. This is why you're going to prison, when you're serving food and engaging in the pattern of conduct, as I've shown the restaurant industry is engaged in. It is currently 8:11 p.m. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. This is a demon that is in alignment to where I'm seated in the restaurant that is stalking with light. This is surveillance that the people of the state are engaging in with the government. They're all demons, including the demons that are in the U.S. military stalking in planes and helicopters. And this is impossible light activity, relevant to a demon that's outside of the restaurant, aiming light on me, monitoring, in furtherance of murder, psychological torture, vagina monitoring, all of that pattern of conduct. That's impossible light. It's not from headlights. It's appearing on that wall too. This is P.O.C. I'm going to prosecute Wendy's for this. Wendy's is engaging in criminal surveillance. Wendy's is gang stalking me in furtherance of murder. Wendy's is profiting while gang stalking with the people of the state who are sharing in the pattern of conduct. And this is all in concert with the U.S. military. And this is Wendy's that has engaged in what is poisoning my food. This is that which is in furtherance of murder. This is P.O.C. It is currently 8:39 p.m. Alrighty, and I will also show you a light activity where you are aware that this is the pattern of conduct of stalking with light, which is what demons are doing, not normal human beings. The demon possessed are engaged in monitoring you, and they are monitoring and engineer light. This is not the product of being under light fixtures. Okay, you are stalking in the path, you're monitoring me, and you're keeping me under surveillance in a building where a whole population knows where I'm at, and they're targeting me together, and Wendy's is threatening my life. While I'm subject to this, I'm going to prosecute. Okay, this is P.O.C. This is relevant to prison that the Wendy's employees are subject to. P.O.C. This is P.O.C. This is the third time the entity is flying over my head. Just having a field day, high on crack, high on cocaine, stalking me in helicopter with the people of the state. The entity's engaged in this for the third time, as I stated, and they're doing so while they are monitoring what it is that I'm doing online. And what I'm publishing online, I want to be clear, as I refer to Jason Isaac Fields is a cult member. And it's his co-defendants that are stalking me. But with the fire department, those are demons that they're being removed from the firefighting industry. They're in the engineer light under the fake moon while they're stalking by helicopter. And while I'm referring to Jason Isaac Fields, I want to be clear, Jason Isaac Fields is the reason why these are his co-defendants. They're a part of the same homosexual cult that are having sex with kids, that are trafficking them. This is the cult member that Jason Isaac Fields is a part of that is gang stalking me. And regardless of Jason Isaac Fields' current status or his emotional state toward me, he remains a threat. And as I am posting him and the fact that he is blocked from having any entry in my life, the entity starts stalking me by helicopter. Okay? Jason Isaac Fields remains a part of the entity. And Jason Isaac Fields, as the entity is monitoring on my device, remains the reason why the entity is threatening my life in real time with the people of the state, demons who are conspiring murder with that gang stalking organizer, Jason Isaac Fields, a homosexual that's engaged in HOLT behavior, mentally ill, psychopathic, okay? These are demons who are on dope, and then they get in a helicopter stalking me. These are the same ones that consume feces. These are the same ones that are going to be in the military tribunal, and they're going to be discharged and they're going to be committed. That includes those that are engaging in the pattern of conduct and having sex with Tracy Banks. And I want to be clear, the entities engage in this while they are monitoring the evidence as this ongoing investigation remains on. This is the evidence to have Jason Isaac Fields put in prison. Were he ever to be in my presence, which is his engagement in conspicuously surveilling me after conspiring my death, conspiring my murder with these gang members, defaming my character while stalking me just like this. Remember, they're lying about me being a drug addict, lying about me being a pedophile when they're the ones penetrating kids. They're raping children while they were gang stalking me, and they thought that they were going to concoct a case against me while this is the stalking conduct that the cult members of the police department, the fire department, and the military were engaging in the entire time. This is Sarah's Regis Group. Again, I'm documenting them stalking by flying over this apartment complex on an ongoing basis, and everybody in that apartment building is being prosecuted. The entity's engaging in what is stalking me for the third time while I'm at the OVITT Family Community Library, and this is what is the clear ability to prosecute the mentally ill, the incompetent. All right, this is the P.O.C. This is the entity that's engaged in that, and this is prosecuting Jason Fields. They're engaged in this because Jason Fields, their co-defendant, is the subject of my thread on X, and Jason Isaac Fields is blocked. Having sex, anal sex, oral sex with Tracy Banks is a means to permanently block you. You will not be having sex while you're a gay male and still married. You and your gang stalking wife, gay lover, whatever it is that you're into, are blocked. There will be no trip together there will be no reconciliation. And the demons that are monitoring, speaking to the fact while you're targeting on the internet, speaking about ways in which these demons are trying to associate themselves with me, there has never been an association. They've been stalking me the entire time, lying about the existence of a relationship that never existed. Jason Fields has a relationship with Tracy Banks' anus. That's the relationship. They're all sex offenders, and they're obsessively stalking me, the one who they thought to steal from, the one whose identity they want to steal, the one who they are sexually obsessed with, while they infect each other with HIV. That's the entity that's stalking by helicopter, while you see Michael GERKEN represented while a fire truck is stalking. These are the mentally ill that are going to be subject to martial law, and Jason Isaac Fields is going to federal prison. If he ever comes in my presence, there will be no reconciliation. This is no friend. While he is being documented, I'm subject to terrorism. He is a part of the pattern of conduct. This is in his sexual relationship, his ongoing defamation campaign, his engagement in gang stalking me and not helping me. The fact that I'm outside and he is engaging in that pattern of conduct and is not a part of any sort of investigation that I've been maintaining is also the evidence of that. I documented you. I'm prosecuting you. He is not listed as a buddy. He's listed as a defendant. This is the P.O.C. It is currently 10:50 p.m. This is what the entity's been doing while I am documenting on X. Stalking me by helicopter, just like I documented at Wendy's. Those demons at the Wendy's restaurant are going to prison. And Jason Isaac Fields, as I document him, I'm subject to more terrorism. Which all you're doing is you're going to have all your gay co-defendants, they're all going to be in prison. Okay? They'll feel welcome. They will feel welcome there. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:50 p.m.